Hi, everybody. Oh, let me turn the heater down. Too noisy. All right. Hi, everybody. It's been a while since I hopped on a live. I simply can't seem to make it happen. But I don't know. I've had a lot of experiences here recently, and I needed to talk about it. And I knew it might take a moment, so I didn't want to. I just thought a live would be nice. So we'll see if anyone jumps on. It's kind of a strange time of day. People are working and in school and all that sort of thing, but it will be available for your viewing later. So yesterday, what was yesterday? Wednesday, and I had posted a quick little 2.5-minute video about listening to your gut, your intuition. Do you hear it? Do you listen to it? Do you honor it? Well, hello, hi. Joe, do you want to hop on here? You could think about it. You may not be prepared, but I have I listen to your podcast. Listen, Jennifer Osler Bolton, go follow her. She's got an amazing podcast and all sorts of wonderful things. Look. Seaside and Pine, baby. Go get yourself one. Look how nice it is. It's all engraved and everything. I don't know if engraved is the right word. Embroidered might be the better word. Yeah, anyhow. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so today I was thinking about, yesterday I posted a small video about listening to your gut, discounting. Oh, okay, she's taking kids to school. Okay, drive safe. I love you. Oh, thank you. Looks good on me, huh? Yeah, my friend. Les got it for me for my birthday from Seaside and Pine, which I love. So talking about approval addiction, our intuition, our gut feeling, and sometimes how we don't hi everybody, thanks for joining, and how we don't listen to our gut, how we have learned to discredit it. We weren't born that way, but we have had a series of experiences in our life that have taught us to discount our intuition. So I'm going to share one of mine with you because, well, what better? Well, thank you. Aunt Sharon? Hi, thank you for being here. Oh my goodness, thank you all. Okay. Years ago, this is how I met Grief Recovery Method, actually. My father had died, and I was a part of a big box church, a large international church, and remember, grief recovery is not about religion. This is just my personal story, my personal experience. So I was a part of this big box international church. I was very, very, very involved in leadership positions and different things within this big box church. Anyway, my father died, and despite all my studies of the Bible and the different classes I had been in, different things, I did not know what to do to feel better. I was down hard. I would just clench my Bible and sob or stare off into a foggy space. I almost lived in a trance, and I couldn't get to feel better. So about a week of that went by before I found myself calling for help, for information, to a Grief Recovery Method class. And in that phone call, I knew immediately that, I'm going to teach this one day. I felt it. I just knew in my soul. There was no voice. I just felt it, and it spoke to me audibly on my inside somehow, right? And so I shared about this. Well, actually, I went to the first class, and the first class confirmed my feeling. The first class left me in awe, amazement. My mouth was dropped a little bit. Why didn't I know this sooner? Oh boy, this is remarkable, but why didn't I know this sooner? And I knew still that I'm going to teach this one day. So being present in the class just confirmed what I had heard on the phone call. So anyway, I go through this first opportunity, or this first class, and then I'm out on a long walk, and I run into somebody from my big box church on my walk, and I shared with them, I found this class. I really like it. I think it's going to be really good for me. And the person says, no joke, all you should need is God. You don't need a class like that. All you should need is God. And has this ever happened to you where you had something that you felt so good about, you felt so sure of, you felt so confident in, even hopeful, filled you with hope, and then you were discouraged, you were knocked down? And I'm curious, what did you do in response to that, in reaction? How did you respond? How did you react? How did it feel? So me, in my situation, Jennifer says, yep. I remember feeling, I wobbled. Should I be in this class? Am I messing up? I remember going straight home on my walk, full of tears, calling my specialist, my grief recovery method specialist, and asking her, who also belonged to my big box church at the time. I don't know if she still does. And asking her, am I messing up? Am I messing up? Am I going to hurt my relationship with God? I didn't want the people to think bad of me, that I was, not loving God anymore. Dream crusher. You nailed it. That's exactly what happened. I was sobbing. I couldn't even make words through my tears. I was crying so heavily. And I doubted. And the words of someone else were about to take me out of something that I knew was certain for me. I felt so good and confident that it was what I needed, and something that was going to be so good that I was going to take it forward. I had to. I felt this duty and this obligation to share this method immediately. I knew that. But this person almost killed it. The person, though, didn't almost kill it for me. I almost killed it for myself, because I lived my whole life addicted to approval. I don't need actual drugs, prescription street. I don't need a bunch of alcohol. I don't need sex or pornography. I need approval. That was my addiction. I guess you could say now I'm a recovering addict. I learned that through grief recovery. How to not need people's approval. Sure, it might feel nice sometimes, but today, people pleasing. There you go. Hi, Monica. Today, I have learned through enough recovery that I don't need people's approval to honor my truth. Sure, it might feel good if I have it, but my truth is mine, and I feel so confident and strong and free to acknowledge it for what it is. And I'm curious, who is doing that? Who hears the opinions of other people and adopts them as their own, or what they should be doing? Jen saying hi to you, Monica. Do you see that? I love when people start talking. It's so fun. I had, in my adult life, had this situation that nearly knocked me off of something that was huge for my life. I mean, we all see. I practice grief recovery. I speak grief recovery. I live it. But I almost got knocked out. Almost. And if I'm really honest, that was not the first experience. In fact, through my personal work with grief recovery, I've been able to go back as far as my brain, my memories will take me. And that really started as a child. I learned to be obedient. I learned to seek the approval of others. It felt good. I got feedback. I did what I was supposed to do. My mom says, I was a pretty easy child, even through teen years, because I was so hungry for approval, but I didn't realize that. I just did the right thing, and because that's what I knew to do. And I would get feedback. I remember at 5, my sister, she's 4.5 years younger than me, so pushing her around in a stroller, and someone saying, you're going to be such a good mommy one day. And then, so really trying to be this, I'm supposed to be really helpful and, help take care of my sister. And I would get that message a lot. And I remembered it. I would reflect back on it my whole life. I learned, of course, through sexual abuse, that I had to meet the expectations of my abuser. I was abused at 5 and then again at 11. And keep quiet. So I had all kinds of messages. We didn't talk about feelings. We didn't talk about emotions in my family. So yes, I had this event in my adult life, but how it rocked me was as a result of all the things I had been through in my childhood. It's not wrong to need to be obedient as a child. In fact, that's survival. That's what you do. But there does come a time where we step away from that role in our adulthood, and I never learned that. I didn't learn how to step away from meeting other people's expectations. In fact, it just becomes further reinforced. I went, at 19, I got married, and I went into the Air Force, and that's all about meeting expectations. You don't even call in sick in the military. You go in sick. You don't call in. You go in. There's no saying no. There's no saying, ouch, this really hurts. I don't want to do this anymore. You're signed up, baby. You're in. And, in our careers, in our jobs, you don't just get to tell the boss, stuff it. I'm going to do what I want. I have to run, but thank you for sharing so much of your heart with me. I love you. Thank you for being here. Please drive safe. And reminding us to listen to your intuition. You're so welcome, and you're so good at it too. But that was learned. I know it was. Anyway, thanks for being here. I love you. So for myself, I was able, through the tools and actions of the grief recovery method, I was able to go back as far as possible and find where I had learned that and where I had started to discount my intuition, where I had shut it out, and where I probably could have picked it up at some different times, especially as I was getting older and I have a little bit more say and a little bit more control in who I am and what's true and correct for me. But I didn't. I stayed in that role. So I come to this situation where I know, I am certain beyond doubt that this is where I need to go. This is what I need to be doing. And I almost walked away from it. Who's done that? Who has had a moment in their adulthood where they listened to someone else's ideas, listened to someone else's expectations for them, instead of listening to your own? What's going on inside of you? You might have responded that way as an adult, but you didn't start then. It started way back here. And until we go back and look way back here at all the different places that you picked up this message of your gut, your thoughts for yourself, your intuition, your self-knowing was to be avoided or discounted or just less audible than other people's voices. That started a long time ago. Till we go back and look at all those places, or what we can find, what we can be aware of, you're actually not free. You're living in a sense of pushing through, but not truly connected. We have to go back in order to go forward. We have to go back and heal those places where we didn't stand up for ourselves, where we didn't speak, where we didn't listen to what was going on inside of us, and instead listen to someone else. Because we can't start, well, I know today, and I'm just going to go forward from today going forward. That is like, finding a rocky foundation. Oh, you know what? I see all the holes and cracks and rubble, but you know what? I'm just going to start building solid from here on up and I'll be fine. No, we have to actually go down into the foundation, get the broken concrete out, get the old messy stuff, and then rebuild it from the bottom up. Dig down, put in the rebar, fresh concrete, get it good, nice and solid, and make sure our foundation is solid and well. So what we choose to do going forward, we are solid in. There's a different knowing, there's a different comfort, there's a different stability and safety. And it's love for yourself. It's love for yourself to go back in order to go forward. We can't just start today from, you know what, I messed up this time, so I'm never going to let that happen again. That's great. That's better than not anything at all. But I hope you hear me say that there is so much freedom in going back to look at all these different places where you discounted what you knew. Hi, Andy, and did not stick up for yourself, did not speak, did not listen, did not honor what was true for you, what was the real message inside of you. Maybe you can't find it at all. Maybe you have no idea. You only know how to meet the expectations of others. Going back, the way that we teach you in Grief Recovery Method is going to help you learn. It'll put you back into alignment with your own self. We're born like this. Our intuitive self and our emotional self, it's all true and in alignment. But we lose that. So that's part of the practice of the grief recovery method, is teaching you step by step how to find it, how to reinforce it, how to heal it, so it's a good strong foundation, so what you do going forward is solid and secure. Am I saying that well? So who out there might be like me and find themselves needing the approval of others in our decisions, not listening to what's best for us, but listening to what someone else believes is best for us? Who's doing that? Is it just me? Do you need help? Are you tired? I found myself tired, so exhausted, constantly needing to meet the needs and expectations of other people, left me not listening to myself, left me not listening to my limits, my boundaries. I didn't even know what my boundaries were. I just would sort of overextend and then hope I could make up for the sleep or the time or the things I wasn't getting done later. I just had to keep all them healthy and keep all them happy. Well, that's not actually my job. And it's impossible too. Hi, Dawn. Thanks for being here. So that approval addiction, it's a big deal. And I hope that you will consider taking a moment to look back at, where did that start for you? No, really, where did it start? Where did you learn it? Who set the example for you? And I also hope that you'll hear me, and that we need to go back and heal all those moments that we are aware of that we didn't listen to our gut when we wish we would have, so that whatever we do going forward is solid. This is your actual freedom. Okay? This is powerful. This is reclaiming you. How much better can that get? I see some people on here who are specialists. Monica, Andy, Dawn. Have you had experiences with discounting your gut feeling, your sense of knowing, your intuition, and then replaced it with meeting the expectations of others? And how did that work out for you? Did you discover that through grief recovery? Did you discover that ahead of time? Curious. It's not necessarily easy work, but it's essential, and it's freedom. It's important because you are important. You are important. That's the easiest reason. Yes, we could, do this so we could help our kids better, or we could do this so we could help our relationship better, but none of it is going to be as important as you yourself doing it for you. And then, of course, all the other positive aspects positive effects will come as a result, but it's still about you. You're worthy, you're important. Look into a class. Why are you spending your time chasing the needs and expectations of people and then ignoring your own self? Why are you doing that? What's the payout for you? Visit griefrecoverymethod.com if you'd like to find a class near you, either in person. Some people have them in person or online. There's a great bit of people who are advanced specialists who can lead you through grief recovery method online. If you don't know where to start, you don't know where to begin, just let me know here, and I'll help you find someone who feels right for you. More times than I like to admit, until I learned the grief recovery method, I was completely oblivious. Yeah. Gosh, thank you for sharing. Yeah, we can't know what we don't know. We can't. We can only keep doing what we've been taught, what we've learned, what we've practiced, until we learn something new that causes us to have a new awareness. We can't actually do anything. We have to become aware of something so we can make a difference. And I wasn't aware of it either until the grief recovery method. And if I'm being really honest, I can see that the change in me was happening, where I was owning my truth more as time went along, and I was still practicing grief recovery for myself. I was probably teaching it by this time too, but I don't think I really put two and two together until I'd been teaching it for a couple of years. So I did a year of my own personal work, and then I started teaching, and I'd been teaching for a couple of years. So I was deep in grief recovery for a few years before I really clicked in with, oh, I'm addicted to approval. Talk about a really deeply buried in message. So I hope you'll, take that into your heart and mind and chew on it for a little bit and let me know your thoughts. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and your feedback here on the comments. And I hope to hear from you. Comments, DMs, emails, whatever you need. I love you. Bye, everybody.